It's a My Little Pony mystery, a My Little Pony mystery, a My Little Pony mystery. It's a My Little Pony mystery, a My Little Pony mystery, a My Little Pony mystery. We're back, we're back, we're back. And so's he. Da 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 da. My Little Pony Mystery number 15. Who is the Black Pony of Darkness? Tape 1, Side B. Dodge looked at the envelope thoughtfully. I believe, from what I can work out, Soapy was the descendant of one of my ancestors' servants. As we know, black-nosed guinea pigs are royalty, and other colors such as ginger short-haired guinea pigs and white-nosed guinea pigs. Dodge looked around at a lot of guinea pigs who were standing at the front of the crowd, shaking their heads now, are our loyal subjects. But white-nosed guinea pigs, apparently, from what I remember of the legend, were my ancestors' servants. So if Soapy was a descendant of one of my ancestors' servants, then obviously the servants knew the secret of how to stop the Black Pony of Darkness, having heard it from my ancestor, the king of the Isle of Guinea Pig, and they hid the secret in an envelope, which got passed down the generations to Soapy, who gave it to me. I'd only just remembered the part of the legend about the envelope, and now I realize that this envelope that I'm holding in my paw now must be the very one. But what we could really do with Dodge is somebody who will open the envelope for us. And who is going to do that? Nobody answered, until Twinkle said, "Well, shouldn't, Dodge do it? Because, he was the one that, Soapy gave it to, Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Well, do you or don't you?" Everybody nodded, and Dodge looked down at the envelope nervously. Me? You really think I should do it? After I've kept it all these years and not given it to anyone? Everybody nodded once again. Sure, I'll do it. Now let's just see. How should I open this special envelope without tearing it? Dodge gently put his paw under one corner of the flap of paper which held the envelope closed. He gently moved his little black paw along, slowly, carefully lifting up the flap and revealing what was inside. Soon the seal had been completely broken, and as Dodge lifted the flap, a yellow light beamed out of the envelope, and Dodge had to jump back because the light was so bright that it hurt his eyes. Slowly he opened his eyes, stepped forward and looked down to see where the light was coming from. There was a strange yellow star inside the envelope, and with it a small piece of paper which had yellowed with age. Or maybe it was the yellow light coming from the star. Nobody could tell for sure until Dodge pulled the little piece of paper out and read what was on it. It says that whoever opens this envelope must hold the star up for all around him to see. And as he does so, everyone must close their eyes, say cucumber cake 3 times, and kick their heels twice. It says no more than that. Yes, it does. There is a strange signature on the back of the piece of paper, but I can't read it. But there is a paw print beneath, And attached to this little piece of paper is some ginger fur. And some white fur, too. Shorter fur for the white fur. Almost as if it's come from a guinea pig's nose. The white-nosed guinea pigs. Our servants. They did put the secret in an envelope. Except there is no secret. Only that strange yellow star. Maybe it will do something if we all do as the message says, and as I hold it up, you ought to take cucumber cake 3 times, close your eyes and kick your heels twice. And so the ponies all got ready to do what Dodge had asked them to do on the count of 3. Dodge got ready to pick up the strange yellow star and began the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Cucumber cake, cucumber cake, cucumber cake. As all of the ponies and the other creatures who lived in Ponyland, plus all of the little ponies from Desiree's rescue home, kicked their heels together twice at the same time, the ground vibrated, and as they all held their eyes tightly closed, pictures began to form in their minds. Very slowly, they could see something moving towards them. It was a black-nosed guinea pig, who looked exactly like Dodge. Greetings, Dodge, and excuse me, the rest of you. I will be speaking to Dodge throughout the telling of this tale, but all of the rest of you are free to listen. It's just that I may be referring to things that some of you may not remember, because I am talking to my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson at last. Which means, by the way, Dodge, that I am your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, also known as the King of the Isle of Guinea Pig. Good evening, Your Majesty, Dodge said nervously. What is it that you wanted to tell me? I have an awful lot of things to tell you, Dodge, and there is no need to call me Your Majesty. Just call me Sooty. That's what everyone called me in my day. Didn't I like to tell you so, Dodge? A voice said, though of course nobody could see who it was, since they all had their eyes closed. But everybody knew it was Twinkle anyway. Be quiet, Twinkle. We have important matters to discuss, by the look of things. First of all, Sooty, I mean, what is it? So, first of all, I know, as far as I know, I don't actually know, but as far as I know, your servants knew how to stop the Black Pony of Darkness, and they hid the secret in an envelope. I have found this envelope, and now I find this star inside, which I am holding now, and you appear. Are you all going to tell me the secret? Why, of course, Dodge. That's what I'm here for. But first of all, I must tell you that you've been lied to. It's a very long story, and I don't know where to start. What would you like to know about first? Who is CLM? What were the ponies at Desiree's rescue home talking about when they said that lots of creatures had met a similar fate, and we didn't even know for some reason? How can we defeat the Black Ponies? How can we defeat their helpers? Where did the helpers come from? Where did the Black Ponies come from, for that matter? Does each Black Pony have an individual helper? How come Soapy had the envelope? And, most importantly of all, why does the Black Pony of Darkness appear to be the leader of all of the Black Ponies? And who is the Black Pony of Darkness, anyway? That's an awful lot of questions, Dodge, and so I'm going to start at the very beginning. But first of all, I must warn you, you have so many questions that I can't answer them all in one sitting, or standing, as you may well be doing. But the point is, I've put a very special spell on the star, which means that you can talk to me anytime you like, whereas normally you would only be able to use it once. Another point I should make clear to you before I begin is that although I know the full story, even I am not allowed to tell you all of it. I will tell you enough to solve all of your mysteries yourselves, though, as I have plenty of time here up in Rainbow Land.
Splodge, is that you?
A voice said in the background of the image which everybody could see in their heads. I would imagine that since my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather is talking to me, it is me who you can see, and I am not Splodge, Bubbles. It's Dodge, Splodge's twin brother.
Oh, that is a shame. I was hoping I'd finally get to talk to Splodge. I'm sure that Soapy would like to talk to you, though.
Some other time, Bubbles. Really, we've got some important things to say to Dodge and all of the ponies in Ponyland and Ponyville. And all of us guinea pigs. And those of us from Earth, for that matter. A voice which everyone recognized as Sparkles said indignantly. Of course, Sparkle. But I couldn't list all of you. Okay, everybody. Just stop arguing and let Sully tell us what he has to say. I'm actually getting rather tired, Dodge. I can only speak for a certain amount of time each time you use the star. And so, I may have to go to sleep. But Sully, please! I want to know what's going on. Well, if all of you will just camp on that hill where you are, then you can just talk to me tomorrow. I am just so tired. Aw, cucumber cake, Dodge said, opening his eyes, and suddenly the image was gone. Everybody opened their eyes at once and looked at Dodge. What happened there? Truly said. My royal ancestors were too tired to talk to us, and so now we have to wait until sometime tomorrow when he's had a nap. I cannot believe this. But still, it looks like he knows how to defeat the Black Pony of Darkness. But he can't tell us everything that he knows. Well, you know, I think that any little bit of information's gotta be better than nothing, Pinkie Pie said. It's just a thought. Yes, but I was hoping he would tell us the full story. Well, maybe he will, Sparkle said. Or maybe he won't. We will just have to wait and see. But try as they might, the inhabitants of Ponyland could not get Dodge's ancestor to speak to them the following day. The star simply wouldn't work. They didn't lose hope, though, and so on Sunday, the 13th of August 2006, they decided to try again. But time after time it failed. Even though Sooty had said that Dodge would be able to use the star again, the ponies were now starting to think that maybe the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather of the little black-nosed guinea pig had lied to them. And so they decided that they would give it just one last try before giving up all hope and going back to their homes in the salted corners of Ponyland, Ponyville, and Earth. Everyone was talking excitedly as they gathered on the big hill in Paradise Land. It was almost 9:15 p.m. and Dodge was going to try to get Sooty to speak to them at 9:30. Helper number 60 was confused. He knew that his wife and daughter often visited Ponyland and sometimes stayed overnight up the rainbow, but now they had been gone for 3 days. He decided to go up the rainbow himself and report the strange disappearance to the other helpers and black ponies. He had intended to go straight back down the rainbow as soon as he had told them, but he'd looked so sorry for himself that Mary Cluckton, helper number 1, and the Black Pony of Darkness had insisted that he stayed and went straight to bed. in the spare bedroom in one of the towers of the castle. Now Mary Cluckton sat on a chair by the bed, reading helper number 60, one of his favourite books. "So shall I continue?" Mary Cluckton said, having just gone to get helper number 60 a glass of lemonade. 60 nodded and snuggled down a little further under the covers, waiting for Mary Cluckton to continue with his bedtime story. Anne sat alone, curled up in the dark. The dungeon at the manor was a tiny cell with a grille in the floor that opened onto the moat. The air that flowed in was bitterly cold and smelled of damp weeds. The hour was late and Anne was hungry, but she doubted that Simon would permit her to have any food. She was too proud to ask for any, or for a few blankets to keep out of the bitter chill. When Simon's message had come, she had been so incensed that she would rather have cut her throat than do what he wanted, so now she huddled in a corner and thought about Simon. She did not hate him. A part of her could even understand his treatment of her, although her heart cried out against it. As for the Princess Elizabeth...
Mary!
A voice interrupted suddenly. "What now, Eleanor?" Mary Cluckton said.
Well, I'm trying to think of how we can defeat the My Little Ponies. And those ponies from down at Desiree's rescue home. And Desiree, of course. And I can't think of how we can do it, and especially not with you reading that story. And it is rather stupid.
"Well, I was only reading to David until he went to sleep, Eleanor," Mary Cluckton said. The argument continued for several minutes, until the man who had been laying in the bed, a bald man wearing glasses, known as helper number 60, stood up and told the two helpers that he had wanted to help them by telling them that his daughter and wife were almost certainly in Ponyland, since they were not down on Earth. He was hoping that this would stop helper number 1 and helper number 2 arguing, but it just made their argument worse. So, as he realised that he could do nothing to stop them, he clapped his hands together to stop them for just a moment, and stormed out of the room, shouting over his shoulder,
"You want to continue the argument? You continue on yourself, alright? I don't give a damn."
And sure enough, the two helpers, known as Mary and Eleanor, did continue the argument, hardly even noticing that helper number 60 had left the room. It was no good. However many times the ponies, guinea pigs, humans and other assorted creatures in Ponyland shouted the words cucumber cake, there was no way that Sooty, Dodge's ancestor, was going to speak to them today. They would not give up though, at least not for one more day. Desiree, Jackie, Sparkle Splodge and all of the little ponies from the My Little Pony Rescue Home decided to stay in Ponyland for one last night and try again tomorrow, hoping that the little black-nosed guinea pig known as Dodge's great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather would tell them the secrets of how to defeat the Black Pony of Darkness and all of the other black ponies and their helpers tomorrow, on the 15th of August 2006. Meanwhile, down in a dark and dingy corner of Earth, in a very dark and dingy little house, stood a group of plastic My Little Ponies. The poor little things had been put on a well-known auction site on the internet, so new that their time in this small dirty house where they had lived for most of their lives, around 20 years, would soon be up, and they would be sent to a new home. They cowered in the corner, gazing around the room, which had once been their young owner's bedroom, though their owner had now left home, and her parents were selling them off. They were not in the best of conditions anymore, and knew that their home may not be all that nice. And suddenly, they heard a woman's voice, who they recognized as their original owner's mother's voice, calling up to her husband, who was upstairs in their bedroom, and saying that the ponies had had a bid placed on them by somebody who called themselves simply Nightmare 1. She was quite pleased because the person was prepared to pay quite a large amount of money, and as a lot of you already know, money is what most people like best in all the world.
There must only be a few more hours to go now,
one of the ponies said.
Yes, we had better make the most of it,
one of the other ponies replied.
I still remember all the happy times in this room, back when our owner was small and loved us. Not like now. I hate to think where we're going now. Nightmare 1. It does not sound nice, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't,
but I would imagine it's not as bad as it sounds. We didn't think that we'd like it here, but we've had many happy hours in this house, haven't we?
Well, I guess you're right, but it'll just...
Nightmare 1 really does sound horrible, and I've got a feeling that we're not gonna like that new home a lot at all. And what is this? Well, you know what we were described as on the internet auction site. You must remember, it wasn't very nice, was it?
All of the ponies in the room looked at each other, some remaining silent. I would imagine the first pony who had spoken before spoke again. But a lot of ponies have been in our situation, and I doubt if all of them ended up as the dreaded C's with NH, and it's too horrible to talk about, but there's still a chance that we will go to a perfectly nice home. So just think, maybe Nightmare 1 is a very nice little girl, like our owner used to be, and we can spend another happy 20 years with her. But deep in their hearts, the little ponies who were about to lose everything which had meant so much to them in the past knew that although this little pony, who they had known all their lives, was trying to raise their hopes, the dreams of a happy future which she spoke of were not likely to come true. Here we stand waiting, a lost few hours flying by. We gaze sadly around familiar rooms, all we can do is sigh.
Seems like yesterday she played with us and combed our hair, but those days are but a memory way back there.
My dear pony friends, you'll find that we all agree. We remember those days too.
From the bus we were thrown and left alone before our ponies she outgrew.
One sailor now and must wait
to discover a sad fate.
Loving child would be great.
It's too late. We have been labeled as custom bait.
Oh, please just
turn the clock back 20 years, when humans were our friends and did not hold our fears. Now we'll be turned into brand new ponies. We want to stay the same. Please bring back our days as children's toys again. Oh, please just turn the clock back 20 years, when humans were our friends and did not hold our fears. Now we'll be turned into brand new ponies, and we want to stay the same. Please bring back our days as children's toys again. Please bring back our days as children's toys again.
The group of ponies had known that their auction lot's bidding would end the following morning, but it wasn't until Tuesday, the 15th of August, that they finally found out more about where they were going. Because it was just then that their old owner's mother put them all in a big box, wrapped in lots of little polystyrene pieces. They listened as their previous owner's mother read out the address off of her computer, the address to which they were being sent, out loud as she wrote the address on the box. Of course, her voice was muffled from inside the box, but they thought that they had heard her say that they were going to somebody who lived at a certain number 15 Terra Avenue, and her name was Miss M. Crumpton, or something similar. If it doesn't work tonight, then I don't think it's worth trying again. Which is such a disappointment, cucumber cake. You call Dodge? A voice said from inside the star which Dodge was holding. Cucumber cake? What? I haven't got my eyes closed and I never called you. I didn't say cucumber cake 3 times. Well then, you must have said it 3 times in the last 5 minutes, Dodge, which counts as the same thing. If you say cucumber cake 3 times in 5 minutes while you're holding the star, then you will see me once again. Unfortunately, as you say, none of you have your eyes closed, so if you would all like to gather round and close your eyes, then the story may begin. I've had a long nap now, and so I think I will be able to repeat the story to you in one go, at least what I'm allowed to tell you of it. And with that, Sooty remained silent, while he waited for all of the ponies and other creatures who lived in Ponyville, plus the humans, guinea pigs, and once plastic ponies from the My Little Pony Rescue Home on Earth, to gather round Dodge and the magic star. Please excuse me if I do have to leave, but Dieselbell Squeak is currently getting me a heavenly lettuce pie, and so it would be rude if she finishes preparing it to not go and eat it, if you understand what I mean, Dodge. So hopefully you will understand me. Sure, Sooty. But first of all, where are you going to start with the story? It's quite obvious, really. I'll start at the very beginning. At least, the beginning of this story. What do you mean by that? I mean that there are many tales, Dodge, which all of you should know. But unfortunately, I do not have time to tell them all here. So, it's best to just start at the beginning of the mystery which you are trying to solve. So, it all begins back in May 2002. I'm not allowed to give away names, and I can only give you a certain amount of information. So, let's go back. When did it all begin? For certain reasons, which I will not go over here, because they are to do with a different story entirely. A group of humans were in Ponyland in May 2002. Some of the ponies nodded, although of course they could not see each other nodding, as of course they had their eyes shut. But they were nodding because they remembered this tale, and why the humans had been in Ponyland. Although the humans were in Ponyland, though, they did not care for you ponies at all, really. And they didn't speak to you, and you probably didn't know that they were there. But they were walking around one day in what I believe was the Black Mountains, and they saw a creature which they decided they rather liked the look of. I cannot tell you what that creature was, though, for that is a mystery that you will have to solve by yourselves. Having seen the creature, though, that was when the humans really did decide that they did not like the My Little Ponies at all, and they decided that they liked this creature instead. But I cannot tell you what it was. Apparently, from what I remember of the legend, the humans saw that the creature was smiling at them, and so they smiled back. But they never spoke to this creature, because it turned around and ran away, and disappeared as fast as it had appeared in the first place. The humans felt really sad, and so they all went back to one of the humans' homes down on Earth, and discussed this strange creature, and the strange appearance of it that day. They knew that they were unlikely to ever see that creature again, and so they decided to get one of their own. Unfortunately, their plans to do this were not very nice. The most, how shall I put this? Well, I guess you could call her courageous, but she wasn't really, because she wasn't doing it for a good cause. The boldest of the humans decided that in the middle of the night of the 14th and the morning of the 15th, she would climb up the rainbow to Ponyland and do something rather horrible.
Sooty, your pie is ready.
A voice came from the background. I'm sorry, but I'm really gonna have to go now, Sooty said. I'll speak to you again tomorrow. My pie is ready. Aw, cucumber cake. When are we allowed to talk to you tomorrow? Whenever you like. Just give me a call when you're all ready. I hope you don't all mind staying in Paradise Land and waiting for me. We've waited long enough as it is, Desiree said. I don't see that a few more days will make much difference after the years and years of patience that we've had to put up with. It sounds like you know the legend of the Black Ponies, Sooty. So maybe finally, our mysteries will all be solved. It was 8:40 p.m. the following day, before all of the ponies had gathered on the hill outside the house where Dodge and his family lived, and they could finally all close their eyes and say cucumber cake 3 times together. But late as it was, once they had said those 6 words, or should that be 2 words 3 times over, the now familiar sight of a black-nosed guinea pig who looked remarkably like his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson, Dodge, stood before their eyes in some kind of meadow, except that instead of green grass all around him, there were pink fluffy clouds and rainbows everywhere. Hello there, my dearest grandson, Sooty said, and all of the rest of you too. What a pleasure it is to see you all again. But I do wish that you would stop calling me just before my supper. Tonight, Soapy is supposed to be getting me some dreamy, creamy celery soup. So once again, when he comes up, I shall have to leave. Aw, cucumber cake. I'll try to get the ponies together around here earlier in the future, Sooty. But, you'll see, I don't know how we can. Everybody is only free in the evenings to come down here and listen to you, and it wouldn't be fair to just speak to a few of us so that we discovered the secrets before everyone else after we've waited so long. No matter, Dodge. It's just, it may take me some more days to tell you all of that I have to say if we have to keep breaking off halfway through my story. Yes, I know. But a few more days is not going to make much difference now. Not after we've waited all this time. Anyway, having said that, I ought to get on, hadn't I? So, where was it that I got up to? You were telling us about
a human who was very nice sometime in May 2002. I think it was like the night of the 14th of May and the morning of the, 15th. Am I right? Yes, no, or am I right?
Perfectly correct. I'm so glad to know that somebody was listening to me, even if the rest of you weren't. Everybody protested that they had been listening to Sooty, and the little black-nosed guinea pig laughed, before continuing the story he had started last night. So anyway, the bold human who made her way up to Ponyland on the night of the 14th, made her way up with only one thing in her arms, a giant sack, which she intended to fill in Ponyland and take back down to Earth, and which she succeeded in doing very well. So she made her way to the place where she knew she was going, which I'm not allowed to name now. And she snuck into a certain room in a certain house, which is quite a long way away from other houses and ponies. And she snuck into somebody's bedroom and stole something which could not be replaced, though I am not allowed to say what. In fact, she stole two things. The second from a barn outside the house, but she still stole them. And when the ponies who lived in the house, the remaining ponies who had lived there, that is, got up the following morning, they found that something very special to them had disappeared. In fact, one of their own family had disappeared, along with a well-loved family pet. The mother of the pony who had disappeared went out and bought another little pet in memory of her child. But the little pet disappeared a couple of nights later. Although none of the ponies had their eyes open, they could hear certain MLPs sobbing somewhere around the field, as though what Sooty was saying was bringing back terrible memories for them. A lot of money and stuff had been stolen from the house, and so it was believed that the pony and the family pet had gone after the thief, but they never returned. What I will say, though, is the human who had so boldly come up the rainbow that night went down to Earth, back to her house, with two things in her sack and lots more stuff in another bag. The two things that she had in her sack, though, she got out of the sack and forced up onto a desk by a computer, where she had quite a lot of painting supplies ready. She painted the things completely black, except for a few white and red markings. She did not sleep that night because she had been so busy. But when she returned to Ponyland the following day and met up with her friends, the other humans who were roaming around Ponyland at the time, she had somebody with her who she wanted them to meet. That somebody was the creature who they had seen in the Black Mountains a few days before, who had turned away as they had seen him. Of course, the humans were very happy to see this creature again. And so, when Mary told them where she had found him, and that in a few days there may be others, but only if the humans did as she asked them to, they immediately started hunting around Ponyland for ponies who never fit their needs. Only certain ponies could be used for what they wanted, though. And there was a reason for this, but I've unfortunately forgotten what it was. Do you mind if I interrupt you for a moment? A familiar voice who everybody recognized as the love story from Desiree's rescue home who had originally said that the ponies at the rescue home would like to help defeat the Black Pony of Darkness. "Sure, you can say what you like. What was it that you wanted to ask?" Sooty said. "It wasn't that I wanted to ask, but I do remember this part of the story. I do believe that the humans were only searching for ponies who had never been made into plastic models by Hasbro on Earth, though I can't remember what they wanted to do with the ponies anyway." "You're right, Love Story. I'd completely forgotten the old legend." A voice which everyone recognized as the Paradise from Ponyland's voice said, "But what I can't remember is what they wanted the ponies for. Which is probably just as well, because I wanted to finish my story before the rest of you try to figure out the solutions to the final few mysteries, and that is one of the ones which I must leave a secret, I'm afraid." "Oh, cucumber cake, but why, Sooty? You're telling us enough just to make us all fidgety and wondering what's happening, and then you won't tell us the rest of the story, and that is just plain cruel." "But I'm afraid, Dodge, that is the best that I can do for now. But anyway, what I must continue to say is that over the following few weeks, more ponies disappeared. This may bring back sad memories for some of you, but at least now you know that it did have something to do with the Black Ponies. Although I am not allowed to tell you what, I'm sure you will work it out before too long." Soon, more humans began to join the small group of humans who had started off as such a small group, as I just said, and very soon there were 60 of them. And those 60 are now known as the Black Pony's Helpers. And each and every one of those helpers has a black pony. This may come as a shock to most of you, I know. You believe that there were only 40. But there are actually 60 black ponies and 60 helpers. I have all of their names too, but that is something else which you must discover on your own.
Your creamy celery soup is ready whenever you are ready for it,"
a voice said in the background.
That was soapy. I'm going to have to go again now, Dodge, I'm afraid. I have told you most of the information that I know about the Black Ponies anyway. But I do still have a few more little bits of things which I remember to still tell you, including something which happened quite recently, Dodge, when some creatures lied to you. Some creatures who actually had something to do with the Black Ponies, but nobody even knows that they were there. Because you still believe that they were your friends. But your friends had their places taken by somebody else for a day. And because your friends were hypnotized, they did not know. And they still don't know that you were talking to them that day. Because you weren't talking to them. You were talking to someone else. What do you mean by that? Dodge asked. I'm afraid, Dodge, I must go and eat my dreamy, creamy celery soup. So I am afraid to say that you will just have to wait and see. The ponies who had been sold on the internet auction site a few days before arrived at their new home on Friday morning. Their package, to their surprise though, was not opened excitedly by their new owner, but instead just appeared to be dumped down somewhere. They could hear a girl's voice in the background, but it was very muffled through the cardboard of their parcel, and so they just had to wait until what they believed to be that evening, when suddenly the parcel was picked up once again and began travelling through the air. They heard a door slam,
And then they felt themselves being carried further, and then as if whoever was carrying them was walking up a steep slope. And then, before they knew it, they heard another, rather larger wooden door by the sound of it, dropping open. And before they knew it, they were put back down on the floor again, it seemed, and still nobody opened them.
What do you think is going on?
One of the ponies said to the others. I'm afraid to say I really do not know. Another replied. I just hope that we find out soon. To hear what happens next, please go to tape 2 of Who is the Black Pony of Darkness.